What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Dillian Whyte sends Dereck Chisora to Dreamworld to meet Freddy Krueger. What a brutal knockout from Dillian Whyte. And to be fair, the fight itself was fairly entertaining, Much like the first fight, a lot of action. Chisora again had the bit between his teeth and he was coming forward, he was aggressive, he was working the body, he was trying to rough Dillian Whyte up. Dillian Whyte this time around, he tried to fight slightly more composed and more controlled. Actually, his output was fairly low in this fight, or lower than normal. Wasn't quite as aggressive. For the most part, Chisora was the guy pushing forward and trying to get Dillian out of there. And Dillian was looking to, counter and box and look for those big counter shots. The pace of the fight was set quite early on, so in round one, like I said, Dillian was kind of boxing, looking for that counter, and Dillian Whyte lands a lovely hard right hand, and it actually buzzes Chisora quite severely. Chisora does recover though, and he does battle back, but Dillian Whyte was also having a lot of success. In round two again, Dillian Whyte on the back foot, popping that jab, looking for that right hand or left hook. Again, Dillian in control. Round three though, Dereck really turned up the pressure, pushing Dillian Whyte back, landing some lovely big punches to the head and body. Chisora in round three was actually moving his head, and that is something he used to do very early on in his career on the come-up. He was much more bobbing and weaving, moving his head, digging in there with hooks, and round three was more of the vintage Dereck Chisora. So the third round was a really good round for Chisora. Dillian Whyte kind of regained control in round four, but Chisora then actually kind of rattles Dillian Whyte with some big punches. Both guys were trading shots, but I felt Chisora got the better of it. Round five was quite hard for Dillian Whyte. Both guys were trading, but Chisora always seemed to be the guy in control. He was the guy who was landing the better shots, landing in there with his body shots as well. So round five, another good round for Chisora. Round six, again, Chisora looking for that body attack. And again, letting his hands go. Dillian Whyte in round six didn't really do much. And in round six, I was thinking to myself, well, Dillian Whyte is some way behind now. How is he going to turn this around? Dillian was looking uncomfortable, and maybe the bodywork of Chisora was taking its toll. Round seven, both guys having success, but I felt Dillian Whyte was having more success than he did in previous rounds. He was landing some good shots as Chisora was coming forward, but Chisora still had his moments. In round eight, the pace was slowing. Dillian Whyte picking his spots a lot better. And in round eight, Chisora is actually reprimanded by the referee and has a point deducted for a low blow. So that was a big round for Dillian Whyte. In round eight, round nine was close. Both guys had their moments. Chisora still coming forward, still trying to throw to the body and head. But Dillian Whyte at this stage was landing the bigger punches in my opinion. His punches had more effect. In round 10, Dillian Whyte seemed to have much more control and was doing, well, the better work, to be quite honest. He was boxing, he was the ring general, if you will, but Chisora does actually finish that round quite strong. So going into the 11th, this fight, in my opinion, was extremely close, and it would be interesting to see what the scorecards said. But yeah, round 11, Chisora is actually deducted another point for using a forearm. When they resumed action, Dillian Whyte seemed to be the guy in control again. I think the effort Chisora had put in was starting to get to him. And then Chisora walks in and Dillian Whyte landed a huge counter left hook that knocked Dereck Chisora out. And the fight was waved off. Brutal knockout from Dillian Whyte. Actually a really well timed left hook. And that was all she wrote. I felt the referee was a bit harsh on Chisora at times, didn't allow him to fully implement his game plan, which was a bit unfortunate. But, the knockout speaks for itself, and yeah, credit to Dillian Whyte for pulling it out the bag. It wasn't his best performance, but he did get the result, and that is all that matters. Where does Dillian Whyte go from here? I mean, I'm presuming they are going to set up an Anthony Joshua fight. I'm not really too interested in that fight, I've got to be honest. Based on that performance, I would pick Anthony Joshua to knock Dillian Whyte out. I think Dillian Whyte has improved since their first fight, but I still feel Anthony Joshua is a couple of levels above Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is dangerous, he is a contender, he is a top 10 guy in that division. That left hook is a genuine weapon, but I think Joshua's better fundamentals will see him through in that fight. Obviously Joshua needs to look out for that left hook. It did hurt him in the first fight, and since that fight Dillian Whyte has knocked out a few guys with that left hook. So obviously Joshua needs to look out for that, but you'd imagine he would win a rematch with Dillian Whyte, to be quite honest. And, you know, if you're looking at Dillian Whyte against the top 3 guys at heavyweight, I think he loses to Joshua again. I think Tyson Fury stylistically is all wrong for Dillian Whyte. And I would pick Deontay Wilder to beat Dillian Whyte also. However, I do think Dillian Whyte's best chance is against Deontay Wilder, because I do think in a sense that fight could be a who lands first type fight. Because I'm telling you now, if Dillian Whyte lands his left hook flush on Deontay Wilder isn't getting up. I'm not as sold on Deontay Wilder's chin as some people are. I've seen this guy get hurt by Eric Molina. He got badly hurt by Luis Ortiz. He got stopped in the amateurs. He got hurt badly early on in his career against Harold Scornias. Funnily enough, all footage was removed of that fight from online. Also, apparently Vladimir Klitschko knocked him out in sparring. I don't think Deontay Wilder has a great chin. I saw Tyson Fury backing this guy up with right hands, you know. Deontay Wilder can be knocked out. And if Dillian Whyte lands that left hook flush, I think he could do it. But that fight is a who lands first fight. And I think Deontay Wilder would catch Dillian Whyte before Dillian Whyte caught Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay Wilder catches Dillian Whyte, it's lights out. Since that Joshua knockout defeat, Dillian Whyte has been hurt in a few fights. He was hurt in the Robert Helenius fight. He was hurt in the Joseph Parker fight. He was hurt in both Chisora fights. Dillian Whyte, again, you know, he can be hurt. Defensively, he is vulnerable, and he's open to the right hand, which is Deontay Wilder's best punch. So I think Wilder versus Whyte would be a tremendous fight. I think it would be fun while it lasts, but I would pick Deontay Wilder to win that fight. However, out of all of the top 3 heavyweights, I think Whyte's best chance is Deontay Wilder, to be honest. I think Fury is all wrong, like I said, and I think Joshua, again, technically too good for Dillian Whyte, and he has the power to make Dillian Whyte pay. But yeah, good fight. Dillian Whyte knocks out Dereck Chisora. Share your thoughts below. Peace.